Breaking news out of Washington. An explosive meeting in Washington as Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer reportedly walk out of a meeting with President Trump. The topic at hand, Syria. According to top Democrats, Trump called Pelosi a third-rate politician. Here to break it all down, Kevin Cork. Kevin, earlier today I said, well, we'll get back to you if anything big happens at the White House, and here you are. Tell us what happened.
And there you have it, right? Well done. That's a Colorado Connection getting it done for you there on the 5. Let me just say this. The White House says the president was measured, decisive, and factual. They called the walkout by Nancy Pelosi baffling, but not surprising. As for Pelosi herself, well, her colleagues say the president was downright insulting. He was having a meltdown. Here's what Chuck Schumer said about it not long ago.
He was insulting, particularly to the speaker. She kept her cool completely. But he called her a third-rate politician. He said that there are communists involved and you guys might like that. I mean, this was not a dialogue. It was sort of a diatribe, a nasty diatribe, not focused on the facts.
Fair and balanced. That's the Democrat side of things. On the GOP side, they say the speaker didn't really have an intention of listening or contributing to this issue. She just wanted to, well, have her way. Here's Mr. McCarthy.
I see a pattern of behavior with Speaker Nancy Pelosi. She storms out of another meeting, trying to make it unproductive. The other Democrats stayed and actually had a very productive meeting.
And you probably know this, Dana. There was actually another meeting scheduled for tomorrow about Syria. That meeting has been canceled, we are told. And given what happened today, probably not the worst idea. Dana?
All right. Thanks, Kevin Cork at the White House. You had a good point. A third-rate politician is a compliment?
Yeah, if somebody called me a third-rate it's better than being a first-rate politician. A first-rate politician, you're just a phony jackass. But, like, Trump is a 12th-rate politician. He doesn't even register, so it's actually a compliment. Look, this is obviously the worst thing that has ever happened since yesterday, when the worst thing that ever happened, and then before that. The fact is, every day with these people, it's the worst thing. Their hair is on fire all the time. You can see it from space. Their smoky heads are flaming. I don't care about it anymore. You can disagree with him about this. A lot of people do, but the fact is, this is who Trump is. He's America's cab driver. He believes that, like, if you ask him, if you go, you're driving a cab, and there's on the cab driver go, this Middle East business, it's a bunch of crap. Right. What are we doing there? We're there for 20, 40 years. No one gets anything done. It's terrible. That's now our president. What's wrong with that?
Well, I tell you, that's scary.
No, it's actually, you know what? Finally, a human being who has a common sense.
No, because you want somebody as your leader, someone who protects the flock, someone who's wise, and someone
he wants American troops out of harm's way.
Well, in fact, he's creating more risk for. Why do you think? Wait a second.
Sure.
Normally on this show, we have sort of debate about things that are Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, libertarian, whatever. But Greg, this is like 129 Republicans today voting with Democrats, including all of the House Republican leadership, to say the president is wrong, putting us Americans right here at home at risk, ISIS people being released to the world without any control.
I think they have his best interests in mind in the criticism and the pushback.
For me, I think it's like one of those things in the swamp when there's bipartisan consensus to stay in Syria, and then outside in the rest of the country, there's consensus to get the hell out of Syria. That's the disconnect. And the president's looking at both parties who've made a mess of the Middle East. You've had the Arab Spring, you've had genocide, you've had wars, you've had everything going on, a migration crisis, weapons of mass destruction. And he's going to say, you know what, enough. Let's let the Turks fight the Kurds, fight the Syrians, fight the Iranians, and let's get the hell out of here.
Except for now he's trying to figure out the diplomacy piece, which I think that you could agree, let's get out, but maybe just try to figure out a way to do it that is a little bit less bloodshed on the way out.
Thank you, Ms. Perino.
People are dying in Syria and Turkey and everywhere, including our
And New York City, by the way.
And my tax dollars are paying the salary for those people who are sitting there and storming out of meetings and calling themselves insulting in front of the cameras like it's 2 little kids or 3 kids. No, he did it. No, he did it, Mom. I don't care. I want them to figure it out because these are high stakes, in my opinion, and as a taxpayer, these are lives. So I'm so sick of this civil war happening and the insulting from the co-equal branch of government. We pay them and we put our faith in them to hold these offices to come to a consensus. This is getting out of control, in my opinion.
Well, how do you argue with the cab driver, though, Emily? If the cab driver is saying, no, just get out.
No, you know what? You're missing the point. Or you're deliberately missing the point. All right, so here's the debate that's going on that we saw today. You have a group of people that see the potential to hurt Trump in this thing, and so they're building it up, right? This is another thing. Remember, last week it was impeachment, now it's this. They'll find something else. So I view a lot of this with this fight with suspicion. And there is actually a legitimate point that Trump is making and has been making for almost 20 years.
But what I'm saying to you is the Republicans have largely stayed with President Trump in opposition to the impeachment. But we see something different here, Greg, and I think it suggests this is far more serious.
Can I make a historical comparison that you don't have to go back too far to when President Obama decided not to enforce the red line? And I don't know what the number was, but I bet it was at least 130 Democrats who said, President Obama, that is a terrible idea. You had 3 cabinet secretaries, Clinton, Podesta, and Gates, all write books saying, and Kerry, all saying that was not a good decision. That was a terrible decision because it led to ISIS. So it's not like this is unprecedented.
Right, but I think the difference here, Dana, is the president apparently is telling reporters those Kurds who were our allies and who died in our fight, they're no angels. Oh, there's a lot of sand over there.
There's a lot of sand.
There is a complicated issue with Kurds.
But there's no
That's wrong with everybody.
That you got to stand by people who fight with you.
At some point, you got to go home.
So what happened to the South Vietnamese? Remember what happened there? We got the hell out of there. We left that whole country. What did Barack Obama do in Iraq?
That's a terrible example. That's a terrible example.
No, my point is that he doesn't want Americans to die. If other people want to fight and kill each other, which they've been doing for thousands of years.
But now he says he doesn't want them to. He just sent a letter to Erdogan saying, don't be a fool.
Yeah, but he's going to use sanctions. He's not going to put American troops on the ground.
But people have already died. They already had the atrocities. I think President Trump could have had this, all the result that he looks for now, he could have had before last week.
Dana's point is well taken. Everything always could be done better, right? And Trump is known for just going out and making, he shoots first and then aims later, whatever you want to use the metaphor. The point is, his simple logic, and I don't mean simple as stupid, I mean that it's plain as day. Our men aren't going to get killed. That's exactly what he said. And you can get mad at him and disagree with him, but he will accept the death of the Kurds before he accepts the death of American troops.
But he had the power to. If you had the? I guess the question is, you have the power to prevent it. And also, I do think that when these Republicans are saying we're afraid of what could happen because if something happens in a year or so.
No, that's a fair point.
I think they have his best interest in mind.
It would happen to America.
That's why we go back and we crush ISIS.
Democrats were mad at Obama way back when.